Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Hello, viewers around the world. Good day to you all. Good day. Another beautiful Friday here in Milan. It's cold, it's freezing, but we just have to get used to it. You're welcome. You're welcome to News Echoes Friday World Affairs. World Affairs is where we bring all the world news, global world news, and put it together in such a way that we can relate with it, we can connect with it. So you're welcome. News Echoes, Friday, the 23rd of January, 2026. My name is Mike Godwin Iweajuwan, and I'm here still hoping that one or two of our coordinators from different parts of the world will join us. But before then, let's have it in mind that what we do here is bring unique perspective to stories around the world, in-depth analysis, reporting news for you to better understand the world as we evolve, like we say. So you're welcome. Before I go into the conversation, let me just run through some of the news headline that we have coming in this morning. One is from Nigeria. The Rivers State Chief Judge refuses to set up a panel that will probe the governor, Fubara. We all know that the governor Fubara was set to be probed, and there were plans for a vote of no confidence to be placed on him. But the judge, the River State Chief Judge, says he cannot constitute a panel to investigate the governor, and he cited some other court orders that stops him from doing that. So that's coming from River State, South Nigeria. The River State governor cannot constitute a panel to probe the sitting governor Fubara. And I know there are discussions on that, but yes, when my coordinators, if they will join, we could talk on that. Let's also talk about something very serious. We all know what happened during the weekend, adoption of worshippers in a church, and that's in Kaduna State. A community called Kajuru. Kajuru is now in the news, and a lot of people are coming out to say that they slam what the police are doing in regards to this adoption. 177 worshippers were abducted. And this is also bringing United States government to blow the alarm and say that they urge the Nigerian government to intensify efforts towards protecting the Christian community in Nigeria. So Kaduna State is the latest abduction, 177 people. Imagine that number. And Trump, I mean, this is so much. This is too much. Trump has sent his representative to tell the federal government of Nigeria to intensify protection of Christians. But meanwhile, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, says Nigeria is taking real deliberate and decisive steps to confront insecurity. We want to see that comment practical and not just making those comments, because 177 people taking off. I mean, now we don't even know the state of their life and welfare and everything. 177. That's a lot. That's a lot. Viewers, if you're joining, you're free to add to the conversation. Um, let's talk about the Kajoro strike abduction. 177 people, worshippers were in the church, and they were all taken away by so-called bandits, terrorists. This is serious. This is really serious. So, Nuhu, the National Security Advisor, says that it's not an issue, that Nigeria is taking decisive steps to confront insecurity with intensified joint operation. But we really want to see that put out in the practical. Yes, more news headline coming in. We heard that Elon Musk is saying something. Elon is saying that robots will take over the world in the future. He says that robots will outnumber humans and drive an era of unprecedented global abundance. So this is Elon Musk in his words. Robots taking over the world. We don't know how that will happen, but God created human beings in planet Earth, not robots. Robots are coming out as a result of man's invention. So, but I don't know how robots will outlive human or do better than human. They're still robots. No matter what shape or form, a robot is still a robot. It still does automated things. It does things in such a way that it can be as similar to human beings. So anyway, Elon Musk have said there will be more robots than people on the planet Earth, and he says it will be an era of unprecedented global abundance. So I wonder how those robots will bring abundance to planet Earth, but this is the words of Elon Musk. We all know Elon Musk, the world's richest man, and also that technocrat. He gets involved in all kinds of businesses. In fact, there's a news coming in as we're talking now that a private airline called Ryanair is a cheap budgeted airline that runs around Europe. Ryanair and Elon are facing off because Elon wants to buy Ryanair, but the Ryanair boss says he's not selling. So, and that's because of some statements Elon made earlier on Ryanair. So Elon is flexing, Elon Musk is flexing, and he's saying a lot. Let's move on to other stories now. Yes, so we talked about the Kajoro incident, 177 people adopted. Now let's talk about also the new development coming in from Nigeria again. The president has approved the posting of 4 ambassadors. 4 ambassadors have been approved, Nigerian ambassadors. The president confirmed this yesterday. We had an ambassador, Ayodele Oke, is the ambassador designated to France. Ayodele Oke. I think the studio has some photos there. Ayodele Oke, ambassador designated to France. We also had that Colonel Latif Are is the ambassador designated to the United States of America. And Ambassador Aminu Dahatu, the former ambassador to South Korea, now is the ambassador designated to the United Kingdom. So this is the update we're getting from Nigeria. 4 ambassadors have been cleared so far, and they have to just go and begin to do their thing. Also, there's an ambassador, Usman Issa Suleiman, the former governor of Kebbi State, is the ambassador designated to Turkey. Turkey now has ambassador. So we have 4 of them that have been cleared. This news concerns us because we want to have that real good diplomatic relationship with other countries. For the past 2-3 years now, Nigeria doesn't have any representation of diplomats like that in abroad in other countries. So four ambassadors have been cleared, and they say they were cleared in accordance with diplomatic procedures. So that's the news coming in from Nigeria, and we hope the ambassadors will resume work immediately. Yeah, let's go now to Trump and what is happening in Denmark. For us to get a picture of that, let's see the clip of Trump and the Greenland issue, because Denmark deployed extra troops to Greenland as Trump wraps up focus on the territory. But let's hear what Trump had to say about that.
The USA gets everything we wanted, including especially real national security and international security.
How so? Can you give us some details, please?
Well, the deal is going to be put out pretty soon. I mean, we'll see. It's right now a little bit in progress, but pretty far along. It gets us everything we needed to get.
Will the U.S. still get Greenland? Will the U.S. still get Greenland, sir?
What did he say that convinced you?
Say it?
What did Mark Rutte say?
Well, he's a great leader. I think he's fantastic. The Secretary General was representing the other side, which is really us too, because, you know, we're a very important member of NATO. I've done a lot for NATO. And it's really nice. It's a deal that everybody's very happy with.
Does it
Sir, how
does it still include the United States having ownership of Greenland like you said you wanted?
It's a long-term deal. It's the ultimate long-term deal. I think it puts everybody in a really good position, especially as it pertains to security.
Okay.
And minerals and everything.
What we're seeing,
Sir, how important is it for your legacy?
Have you already spoken to other European leaders? Have you already spoken to other European leaders?
Yes, I am.
okay, what we're seeing there are visuals coming in from the Trump talking about the Greenland and his plan to wrap up focus on the territory. So he says intensified efforts are required to make Danish territory, the Greenland, an autonomous territory. So questions are being asked there, and we heard this morning that Denmark has deployed extra troops to Greenland and probably to stop Trump from trying to do what he's doing. So in any way, the United States are going ahead with their plans to take Greenland as an extra territory. For those that don't know Greenland, Greenland is up north. It's north of Europe, and somehow it connects to some parts of Europe. Denmark I think Denmark borders with Greenland. Some Scandinavian country borders with Greenland, and this will be a tough one for Trump because it will mean him stepping on toes with some European countries, and these European countries are also members of the NATO group, his own allies. So, but this is what we're hearing now: Greenland and Trump and his efforts to really do what he has said he wants to do. So more news coming in from that angle. Remember, it's Davos. Davos engagement just finished. Davos is that engagement place where world leaders, business people, and the world global economy runs through. So Trump was there, and he did something at Davos this year. He created what he called the board of peace, and he pledged global diplomacy and peace around the world. Let's see clips coming from the board of peace.
And now to bring the board of peace into full force, I ask Sheikh Isa of Bahrain and Foreign Minister Barita of Morocco to join me in signing and ratifying the board of peace charter. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
That's the Board of Peace signing launched by Trump. The Board of Peace, he says, highlights U.S. military success and global diplomacy, as he puts it. The United States President Donald Trump has announced the creation of the new global initiative, the Board of Peace. Board of Peace.
Congratulations, President Trump. The charter is now in full force, and the Board of Peace is now an official international organization. Congratulations, everyone. This concludes the signing ceremony. If President Trump and all of the Board of Peace members could please join the President around the table. The President is now going to sign the inaugural resolution that will resolve the Board of Peace's Gaza mandate per the United Nations Security Council Resolution 2803.
Board of Peace. So it's an initiative that will be positioning the world as a potential historic body aimed at ending conflict, advancing international stability. Board of Peace.
Congratulations.
Yes. So there you go. Board of Peace. Like we said, it's Trump's initiative. He has unveiled this Board of Peace at the Davos meeting. He pledges to bring in global diplomacy and also Gaza rebuilding of Gaza. So as part of this historic record of major peace initiative, he said they'll be announcing more details around the Board of Peace. It's like he said it's a chance to be one of the most consequential bodies ever created. So let's see how the Board of Peace will help in the world governance, world peace, world global diplomacy. Let's see how that board will put out things. Yeah, so we'll take a break now and come back in a few minutes. Thank you.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Viewers, you're welcome back. You're welcome back to SSM Friday Global Updates. I'm here all alone in the studio, but it's all good. My name is Mark Godwin, we're in Milan studio. Continuing some of the news, some other news coming from Nigeria. We heard that the former Vice President of Nigeria, Abubakar Atiku, has faulted the Senate over Electoral Act amendments, he said. He said this amendment might put the 2027 polls at risk. We are trying to see those amendment papers. We've asked, the studio have asked for some of those past amendment acts. We want to know what really could be detrimental to our politics, our democracy come 2027. As you all know, 2027 is the year Nigeria will be heading to the polls and electing new presidents, electing new governors, and all the rest. So, but this man, Atiku, has blown the whistle. This is real hot whistle now. He said that the Electoral Amendment Act has some faults, it's faulty, and it will put that election period at risk. So the former Vice President Atiku also accused the Senate of deliberately frustrating the efforts to amend the Electoral Act 2022. So that Electoral Act was made in 2022. So it's a nice thing to know that a man like former Vice President Atiku will be the one that will blow this whistle. So we hope policymakers, the federal government, and all of those around this will look into this, because anything that would jeopardize our election will be doing us harm. And Nigerians can afford to go through problems again in doing election. Election should be transparent, clear, simple, as is done all over the world. So former Vice President Atiku is blowing the whistle that the Electoral Act amendment of 2022 will be a problem for us in 2027 if it is not checked and corrected. So that's one news coming from Nigeria. More news coming from other parts of the world. We just heard that we know what happened during the past week. Two trains had Spain, Western Europe had issues with their train. The first time it was about 40-something people that died in the crash, and the second one about 20-something. Now there's a third one. There's a third plane crash in Spain, and it doesn't look good at all. Let's see clips from the train crash in Spain. Let's see clips from that. So this is third crash into the train. This one left 4 people injured, but we've not heard of any deaths yet. This crash happened yesterday, Thursday, midday yesterday, and 4 people that themselves affected injury. 2 have been taken to hospital for some real serious injuries. So we wonder what could be making trains crash in Spain. The first time it was a collision. The 2 trains went face off with themselves and killed many people. The second one, the train derailed. It went off track. And now this one is the third one. And this one is what they say, it collided with a crane that was used in constructing the track, just fell on the train. So terrible situations for Spain. Initially, I thought, my guess was maybe the control room, because every of the speed trains you see has a control center. So, and sometimes those control centers could be, when there are errors in automated things, it affects the movement of the train. So, but this one doesn't look like control anymore. This is a collision crane, construction crane falling on the train, and now 4 people injured. So that's coming from Spain, Western Europe. Also in far away on the other side of the world, New Zealand. New Zealand has 2 people dead yesterday. New Zealand had 2 people dead yesterday. They said a caravan was smashed into a campsite where children were in the camp. Multiple children have been declared missing. Let's see clips also from New Zealand. New Zealand and the deaths coming. Let's just.
And I look behind me and there's a huge landslide coming down. And I had to jump out from my seat as fast as I could and just run. And then I dived across the other pool and looking behind me, and there was a caravan coming like right behind me. It was like the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
The whole room just started shaking violently. And we could not grasp what has just happened. We looked outside the window and there was a caravan in the hot pool.
We are still in response mode, and that includes the tragedy that has unfolded behind us in the last few hours.
So there you go, New Zealand, in that very terrible mishap. So the story is that I think there is a landslide. The land begins to move, and when this happened, it carried some vehicles, some caravan and things, and just smashed into a campsite where children were having their camp activities. So New Zealand is in the story there, and we hope those that were able to make it out survived, and we hope that those that are being injured will be healed. Yes, moving on. It's a sad story there. I follow this young man, American chess grandmaster, is dead. He's dead. The young man used to be a grand chess player. He played chess so well that it's hard to take him out. So Daniel Naroditsky died from abnormal heat-borne, they said, caused by overdose. It looks as if multiple substances were discovered in his body, in his system, both meth substances, kratom, opioid, all kinds of energy drinks also were found in his system. So there you go. Daniel Naroditsky, that's American chess grandmaster. He was #1 in the United States. So he's dead. We know how it is when people put their lives into the public and do things like this, but you still can have control over yourself. Yes, you can. All right, viewers, it's been, I've done half of the hour here. It's been Friday Global Update. My colleagues couldn't make it to the studio, but I've run through the news, and it's nice to just show up with you viewers, and want to wish you a wonderful weekend. Stay well. God bless you until we come again. Monday starts a new week of the news plan. Monday is our Between the Lines, and we hope to be here by God's grace. So until then, enjoy your weekend, and God bless you. See you. Thank you also for following up with us on SSM News Echoes. Bye-bye.